Welcome back to my channel, guys. The White House is denying a report in the Wall Street Journal that President Trump's Mar-a-Lago spa in Florida used to send teenage workers to pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells TMZ, quote unquote, "It's shameful. The Wall Street Journal is wasting their once great paper writing up fallacies and innuendo in order to smear President Trump and distract from his historic first year back in office," end quote.
TMZ is reporting that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's ties may be worse than previously thought, and this is part of a Wall Street Journal expose that has now shown that Donald Trump used to send young teen girls to Jeffrey Epstein for massages. Now, when Donald Trump previously talked about this, because he was asked about this, he lied.
He lied. Donald Trump lied. Leavitt adds, no matter how many times this story is told or retold, the truth remains. Caroline Leavitt, this is what she's saying. Quote, President Trump did nothing wrong and he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep, end quote. She continues, quote, now it's President Trump's own Justice Department that is releasing hundreds of thousands of pages of documents related to Epstein and his crimes. Donald Trump's ties to Jeffrey Epstein may be even worse than previously thought, according to a new report from the Wall Street Journal.
When Donald Trump previously talked about this, because he was asked about this, he lied. And he said that Epstein, quote, stole young women from his spa. Here's what he had to say.
On Air Force One, President Trump telling reporters sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, quote, took people who worked for me at his Mar-a-Lago resort, acknowledging some of them were young women.
He took people, and because he took people, I say, don't do it anymore. You know, they work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that,
I don't understand what he mean by he took people. Like, how can I take people from random places? Doesn't make any sense what Trump is saying here. He took people. What? You took people? Like, how did you take them?
That was the end of him. I didn't like when they steal people. I don't like it.
Reporters then asking about those workers.
Some of them young women. Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken, and it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there, and the answer is yes.
The people they took from me was bad. Like, what? They're not bad or good. It's either criminal or not criminal, and it was criminal what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, and Donald Trump knew all of this.
In the spa. Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago, and people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine, and then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here.
Trump then asked if one of those young women was Virginia Giuffre, who claimed Epstein's companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, recruited her at Trump's spa when she was just 16, taking her away from Mar-a-Lago and sex trafficking her to Epstein, and later allegedly to Britain's Prince Andrew. Maxwell denies that happened. Giuffre later sued Prince Andrew for sexual assault. He consistently denied her claims, but later settled the case without admitting wrongdoing.
None of the things that Donald Trump said make any sense to me. The Wall Street Journal says Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago spa in Florida would send teenage workers to Epstein's mansion, despite it being an open secret among the staff that the billionaire would sometimes expose himself during appointments. According to the publication, the practice stopped in 2003 when an unnamed 18-year-old employee complained that Epstein pressured her for sex, and quote.
Exposes himself during massages. So this is all very well known. This is all very, very, very well known. And I just want to remind you too that Donald Trump sent this card to Epstein. There must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is, but I don't tell you what it is, Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald Trump, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. This is not stuff you send. This is just very creepy stuff. I think we all know why Donald Trump will not release the Epstein files, while Donald Trump is redacting as many files as he can. Why Donald Trump has done more to stop the release of this file than I think he has to even get a tax break for his billionaire buddies. There's just a lot of smoke here, but it might not even matter because we've learned that 47% of Republicans say they'd vote for Trump even if he's implicated in these crimes.
Obviously, Epstein pressured her for sex, as I just mentioned, 18-year-old unnamed girl. Word of this reportedly got to Trump, who told the manager to kick Epstein out of the club. In July, Trump told a slightly different story, stating his relationship with Epstein went sour after the disgraced financier, quote-unquote, stole a young woman who worked at his Mar-a-Lago spa. So you can see how Donald Trump is changing his story. Trump told reporters on Air Force One, quote, people were taken out of the spa hired by him, in other words, gone. Again, as you have just heard from Donald Trump himself saying that. He added people would come and complain. Quote, this guy is taking people from the spa, means Epstein. I don't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people, and he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again, and I said, out of here. So again, this is being reported on the Wall Street Journal. Donald Trump changing his story, not releasing those Epstein files, calling it a Democratic hoax, and then obviously he is denying anything that he has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. In fact, the base of Donald Trump, 47% who said we will vote Donald Trump regardless of whether he is associated with Epstein or not with his crimes, they are also now going to be very, very adamant on the narrative and the propaganda that Donald Trump not only kicked out Jeffrey Epstein, but he also wanted to have him under handcuffed, and that Donald Trump did the right thing. He is actually not a villain, rather a saint.